Those are ambitious goals. But what do they mean? Like, how are you going to get there? What is it actually doing to your true business? Hello and welcome to Pillars of Wealth Creation, where we talk about creating financial success with a special focus on business and real estate. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. Now, let's get to it. Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Wealth Creation. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. With me, as always, we got Matt Jones. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm having an awesome day. How are you doing, Todd?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, man. We just got back last night at like 12:30 in the morning from being gone. Let's see. We left, I think it was like the 23rd, 24th, something like that of November. And then I guess officially we got back just yesterday. So, yeah.
Oh, welcome back.
Really today. Technically today, right? So yeah, it was good. It was just an opportunity that we decided we were going to take. Potentially never get this type of opportunity again, at least with the kids. So the governor shut down youth sports, school. The kids are doing online. A lot of other stuff kind of got shut down, and we said, well, let's go. Let's get out of town for a while. So we took advantage of the shutdowns and went down to Florida. We drove down there, took a couple days driving down to explore and have some fun, and then got down to Florida. And it was mostly it was still business as usual for the most part. So I still worked every morning, get up early, work, and then try to wrap up a decent time, so we still had light. But then oftentimes when the kids are not oftentimes, pretty much every day when the kids went to bed, I would put in a few more hours of work. So it was kind of business as usual, with a little bit of fun sprinkled in there. But it was 70 and sunny, and we were on the beach, so that was kind of nice too, because we don't have a ton of beaches here in the Twin Cities, at least that type of beach.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do have beaches. They're just a little chilly
really,
right now.
Not really. Ours are a pile of sand near a lake. That's not a beach. Like when you look at these beaches, it's totally different. It was nice too, because where we were, it was pretty flat on the beach. So I could go for a nice run. It was harder sand, kind of down low towards the ocean, and it was flat. So I could go for a long run on the beach without having that crazy slope sometimes that you get on the ocean. So it was great. It was nice to be away, nice to be able to do that. We got to do a lot of exploring, got to see things that we normally wouldn't see, and just spend time with each other, which is really cool. The kids got into little sports. We brought their hockey gear. My daughter figure skates. We brought her figure skates and her gymnastic stuff, and she did gymnastics and figure skating. My son did some hockey. And we explored and played, and like I said, just spent quality time with each other. So that's what it's all about. It was great.
Mm-hmm. And real estate is a beautiful thing because it gives you the freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah, being able to have that flexibility is so nice. We've been able to afford to have my wife not working, and that in itself has allowed for a lot more flexibility. But then, yeah, with just owning your own business, I don't have to clock in. Like I don't have to check with the boss if we need to go, or if we want to. Like one day at, I don't know, it was like noon. The kids wanted to play mini golf, so we jumped on our bikes and biked down to the mini golf. Did mini golf. I biked back. I had a meeting. The kids and my wife, went and biked to an ice cream shop, got ice cream. I biked to a meeting and did that. No big deal. So it allows for that flexibility, which is great. Owning real estate, owning a business, you can make your own schedule. Now, I still work hard. Like that doesn't. I'm not going to try to sit there and tell people that you don't have to work hard. Like just buy a bunch of real estate and then you sit around and you can do whatever you want whenever you want. Um, depends on how you want to go about it. You probably could, right? I probably could just kind of just sit around. That's not my style. I want to keep on growing, keep on developing a business, keep on making it better and better. So for me, I still have to put in a lot of hard work. I'm just flexible with it, right? That's the great thing.
Yep. And I agree. I mean, my real estate allows me, it makes me more money than I have made with my earned income through a job. And I do a lot less work for it too.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So that was all good. I mean, now back to reality, back to cold Minnesota with no snow, man. Where's the snow? But yeah, no, I'm kind of bittersweet, right? It's like, oh, it's great to be home. Oh man, I wish I was still in Florida. So, oh well. All right, Matt. What's today's topic?
So in a recent episode, we were talking about ending the year out strong. Today, we're going to be talking about starting 2021 off strong as well, like goal setting and making sure that your momentum that you've carried throughout this year continues on to the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so important, right? And I did kind of harp on not getting caught up in your goal setting too early. I did, it's people end up like I hear people even in November and so early get set up on their goal setting for the next year, and it's like, what are you doing this year? And so, that's important. But now, obviously, it's the very end of the year. It's December 30th, and we've got one more day left, or a day and a half left. Yeah, finish the year strong. But most people are going to be potentially even taking tomorrow off, and so we got to think, okay, how are we going to hit 2021 strong to make 2021 even better than 2020? And hopefully your 2020 was good. Mine was fantastic. Obviously, we've got COVID and there's been a lot of pain. But overall, my personal business has been great, and hopefully yours has been as well. But even if it hasn't, okay, well, how do we shift that? We've got to shift that mindset and that attitude. A lot of people are in a bad spot. A lot of people have anxiety and stress, and just like 2020 is this throwaway year. And okay, well, let's make sure we don't make 2021 a throwaway year, right? Let's make sure we make 2021 an awesome year, hit the reset button, and move on. And if 2021 was great, or 2020 was great, well, that's awesome. Let's keep that momentum moving and make 2021 even better. My goal is to make every year even better in all aspects too. And I think that's something that people forget about. We don't just have a business. Okay, we've got a business. We've got a personal life. We've got our health, right? So we've got our spiritual well-being. What are you doing to feed those? What are your goals in those areas? I think that's really important. We want to dive in not just to our business goals, but to all other aspects of our life, and to make ourselves better as a whole, right? Not just one part. I think that's really important.
I just finished reading the book Vivid Vision, which explains how to create a really detailed vision of where you want your business to go. And it's really helping me to create that, like paint myself a picture of, like, in 3 years, what do I want my real estate business to look like? How do I want people to perceive my business? And what markets I'll be in, what kind of, how many units I'll have, that kind of stuff, so that I have this visualization, and then I can express that to other people as well. And I slowly over time become what I want to be.
I think that's so important, and many people forget, uh, or maybe they know it, they hear it, but they don't actually do it. Or they don't spend enough time on it. I really firmly believe you need to be taking a large portion of your day, if not the entire day, and going through that, writing it down, scratching it out, writing something else down, scratching that out, creating a final draft, making it really detailed, and talking through that draft with your business partner, with your spouse, with a friend, parent, whoever you can talk to about your goals and your vivid vision. You should be doing that. I think you need to talk to people and talk through it and make sense of it. There's so many people that have these goals, but they don't have goals, right? They say they want X, Y, and Z, but they don't really know what that means and why they want that. And so that's so valuable. Knowing and understanding that there's going to be very hard days along the way, and what's driving you to get there, and what are the little steps that you need to take. That's key too. We need to make sure, like every month, you should be having probably your power 3 to 5 at max. So if I've got my power 3, those are 3 main things I'm doing on a daily basis or on a weekly basis to move my business forward. And I'm going to focus hard on that for at least a month. Maybe it's a whole quarter, maybe it's even the entire year, but at least a month, I'm going to focus on those 3 things and make sure that I'm doing those on a daily basis. And those are just those core, those rocks, right? Those things that you just can't move, you have to do. Maybe you're a real estate investor and you need to underwrite 3 deals every day. Okay, then underwrite 3 deals every day. Maybe then you need to reach out to underwrite and reach out to those brokers. Then do that. It's a rock. You have to do it. If you want to get deals, there's no other way around it. And that needs to be part of your goal system.
Yeah, even if you're just focusing on one thing a month, like spend 30 days just focusing on becoming a best version of yourself with one thing in your business,
Yeah.
and you do that month after month. By the end of the year, there's 12 core aspects of your business that you're really excelling at now that you weren't before.
Yeah, 100%. And so, first and foremost, look, we need to come up with let's just talk our business first, because that's what we talk about on this podcast mostly. So we need to look at what's our business. Well, let's be real with ourselves. Where's our business at right now? Okay. So let's write down where our business is at right now. Let's write down what kind of wins we had in 2020. Okay. What kind of struggles did we have in 2020? What struggles does our business have overall right now? What kind of wins does our business have overall right now? Okay. And then we need to, so we need to know that and realize that, because that helps us get to where we're truly going. Okay. So if we say, well, look, my business is great. I've got a high net worth, or I've got a lot of equity in my properties, but maybe I've got very little cash flow. Okay. We got a cash flow problem. Well, what's probably one of our things we're going to focus on in 2021? How do we increase that cash flow? So let's start dialing that in, right? And really understanding what we need to do in order to up that cash flow. So we come up with some of the things that we need to work on in our business. I think that's really, really vital. And then we have to realize, where do we want to take this business? What are our goals? And we want to dig deep into every single one. So if I don't want to just say, well, I want to buy 600 units in 2020 and raise, $45 million. Sounds great. Those are ambitious goals. But what do they mean? Like, how are you going to get there? What is it actually doing to your true business? Um, you know, Buying 600 units sounds great, but what if they're the crappiest 600 units you could possibly buy just because you made a goal? What does that do to your business? How does it serve your investors? Like, what are your true reasons for doing this business? And are those goals actually serving your desires, right? Are they serving your real goals? So I think that's super important to really go deep into your goals and vision and making sure it all aligns together.
Yeah, starting with why. Why do you want these things? What do they mean to you? Like you say, uh, because if they don't have any meaning behind them, you're just kind of like walking around in the dark.
They're empty goals. Yeah. 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 And you're walking in the dark, you're gonna bump into stuff, you're gonna knock things over. And that's what your business is gonna be like. So you gotta really, in my opinion, dive deep. And then you've got to start digesting it, and you've got to pick it apart, um, and really hone in and lean in to those important things, and try not to make your goals too complicated. Right? We've got to simplify them. I like what book was I reading? I think it was it's Principles with Ray Dalio. I believe it's Principles. Um, Talks about his dad. Maybe it wasn't. Anyways, so he's talking about his dad, and he's talking about how him and his dad and a business partner. The business partner was asked to write a business plan. The business partner comes with this like 10 or 20 page fancy business plan, and his dad's like, "This is great. Let's make that 2 pages." And so or five. I think it was first 5 pages. Comes back. He's a little perturbed, but he comes back with 5 pages. He goes, "This is great. All right, let's make this 2 pages." So he's mad now, but he dials it down to 2 pages. He says, "Great, let's make this 1 page." And he couldn't make it 1 page, but anyways, he has a 2 page business plan now. And that needs to be your goals, right? We could start out with a big template, 10 pages long. We need to dial it down though. We need to bring it in. We need to figure out what are the rocks, right? What are the main core things we need to focus on this year. And it might be maybe we have 4, maybe we have 6. Okay, then how do we break those down? If we have 4, well, let's work on 1 each quarter, right? If we have 6, well, then out every other month. Okay. So we have to dial those things down and really hone in on what's truly valuable and important. And then we need to be reviewing those goals consistently, constantly, putting deadlines on them. Okay, if you have a goal, you don't have a deadline, and all of a sudden it's December, well, what good was your goal, right? But if you've got true deadlines and they can't be too far in the future, I think you can achieve those fairly quickly and precisely because you're focusing on them, right? That's a lot of reasons why I think these what do you call them? New Year's resolutions, they don't work because people set these big audacious goals, which are great, but they don't have real timelines. They're too far out in the future, and they struggle and they fail on them. Instead of setting them up and saying, "I'm going to do this every day," or whatever it is, for the entire month of January. And then as January is coming to close, they say, "I'm going to do this entire month of February," and so on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once you have your big end goals and you understand the meaning of what they why you value them, then like you say, you got to break them up into biteable chunks. Because if you have that big goal of like, oh, I want 600 units by the end of the year, but you don't break that up, like, okay, that means I need 100 units every 2 months. And in order to get 100 units every 2 months, I have to put in so many LOIs. I have to analyze so many deals. I have to talk to so many brokers to really get that going. And like you say, keep those deadlines so that you stay on par. Because if you wait till December to start working on that 600 units, probably not going to happen.
Yeah. And that's what so many people do, or they don't really understand those breakdowns like you were just mentioning, right? What do we actually have to do? Owning 600 units is great. Buying 600 units is great. Sounds cute, right? But what do we actually have to do to get there? If we don't know how to get there, or if we don't take the steps, well, you're not going to buy 600 units. You're going to fail on your goal every single time. I'm also a big proponent of actually making goals that you feel like you can achieve. Okay. Maybe not making weak goals. Yeah, I'm going to buy, 100 units. That would be fairly weak for me. Like, I hope I I better buy 100 units, right? But I don't want to make a non-realistic goal like I want to buy 5,000 units this year. Well, that's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just not. That would be great. And if it happens, sweet, let's do it. But that's unrealistic for where we are in our company.
Yep.
So, what else? Anything else?
No, I mean, I would, another book I would recommend is The One Thing by, I think, Gary Keller.
Yeah.
Which helps you focus on just one thing at a time to really do it well before moving on to the next thing.
There's a book called The 12-Week Year, I think it is. 12. Let me see.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it, but I haven't read it myself.
Yeah, so it's a 12-week year. Basically breaks it down into smaller chunks, so we're not focused so much on this huge goal that's a whole year. Now, it doesn't say don't have this goal for the year, but we break it down into chunks like we've been talking about. And that's, in my opinion, so much more valuable. And then, again, those timelines are a must. And I don't want them too far out. Like, my brain can't comprehend how far a year out is. Like, that's a long time. So, but my brain can comprehend the end of January. So that's what I want to do, right? I want to go, okay, well, this time here from January 1st to January 31st, this is what I'm focusing. My one thing that I'm focusing on is this. You know, the 12-week year is based on, well, what happens in 12 weeks each quarter, right? So we get 4 quarters in a year. Well, instead of saying I'm going to do this the entire year, you say I'm going to do this the first quarter. First quarter, this is my goal. Now, again, you can still have your annual goal. You can still write down I want 600 units. Well, what are you doing in that first quarter to get you to ultimately that goal? But what's your then quarterly goal? Break it down.
Yep. Excellent.
So let's do it. Let's hit 2021 hard. Let's make 2020 a fantastic year. Like I said, look, if 2020 was a terrible year and, you know, whatever, COVID, election, all that kind of stuff got you down, you've been high stress, you've been not focused, whatever it is, let's kick some butt and make 2020 a different year. It's all about mindset. It's all about how you're approaching things and what you're letting infect your life. Right. And so, but if 2020 was a great year, again, let's make 2021 even better, right? Let's continue to push. Let's continue to grow. It's for really, I was listening to Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, and I loved what he had said. And I think somebody else actually said it to him. But talked about like, somebody said, you know, Harv, how do I go about making a ton of money when there's poor people out there that are suffering and, you know, just struggling to get by? How can I justify going out there, making a ton of money and getting rich? Right? I feel bad doing it. And he said, well, look, why would you want to basically be like them? How is that serving and helping the problem? You're saying that's a problem that they're poor. Well, how is that serving and helping the problem? Why don't you become really, really rich? And then through your money and through your influence and through your inspiration, you can help a ton of people figure out how to turn their lives around as well. Right. And I love that. Like, oh man, if we can do our part, if we can grow our businesses really strong, then we can help other people. We can inspire other people. We can give to other people. We can do so much more good by basically gaining the world, right? We can give back then to the world, provide so much more.
And the more people you help, the richer you become.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a win-win, right?
Excellent.
Cool, man. Well, hey, you have a fantastic rest of the day. Make every day a Saturday. And by the way, have an awesome rest of the year. I hope listeners, I appreciate you, Matt, and I appreciate you guys listening to the show. Thanks for a fantastic 2020. And we're looking forward to bringing more value in 2021. If there's anything as a listener that you want more of, right, that you want to hear about, you have people that you know that would make great guests, or maybe you would make a great guest, reach out to us. Let us know. This show's for you. So to our listeners, man, we want to hear from you. If you've got great ideas, if you've got great guests, let us know.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Hey, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you being a loyal listener. I would love to have you go on to our Facebook page and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Go on to iTunes or wherever you listen and give us a rating and review. Don't forget to subscribe. Your rating and review just helps us push this out to more and more people and continue to grow our audience and hopefully positively affect a ton of people out there that really need this and want this. So the other thing I've got for you is a free ebook on my website. So go on to venturedproperties.com, and download our free ebook on real estate and on syndication. And I've got some data points in there, some really good stuff for you. So I'd love to have you take a look at that. It's free. I'm not expecting anything from it. And also, look, if you want some help in multifamily, want some help learning, growing, getting your business off the ground, I would love to talk to you about what it would look like to work with me potentially and see if that's a good fit. So you can go to coachwithdex.com and check that out, and we can definitely have a call. Thanks a lot for listening. You make it a fantastic rest of the day. I'll catch you on the next episode.